All right. Good morning, traders. Welcome to the Bookmap All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we'll be going through the live order flow using Bookmap and trying to understand the behavior in this crazy auction to understand where price might go based on the behavior of those participants. General disclosure, all Bookmap limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure, trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, well, let's take a look here. And I was actually having some issues with my rhythmic data feed. I don't know if you guys were as well. I had to jump over to Bookmap data, and that seems to be working pretty well, but I lost all my MBO data. Well, I maybe started about 15 minutes ago or so. So that's all I've got. Anyway, let's see here. Any questions right off the bat? Good morning, everybody. All right. All right. Yeah, we got coffee, we got tea, milk, and saluting and salute. Excellent. Thank you, Stephen. All right. Anyway, guys, so let's take a look here. This is the ES, and zoom in a little bit here. Actually zoom out a little bit. So yeah, we've got this range in here from 9 a.m. I can add some more data in here. A couple hours, be good. And we'll take a look a little earlier. I've got the Trader Map Lite version up as well, but again, I had some issues. So with Rhythmic, I was all set to go, and then had some discrepancies in their data. So so we don't have a full map yet here with the well, about 15 minutes worth for the ES for Trader Map Lite and also for Trader Map Pro. All right. Good morning, Dan. All right. So all right, well, what did we see here and what did we cover yesterday? You know, we covered a pretty choppy day yesterday. We were looking for the continuation move. It was right around this time in here on the 15-minute chart. And it just, the order flow was telling us that, well, we were looking for the move down to about here, the swing here in the structure. And why I'm covering this in here, it's just so important to go over market structure. The higher time frame swings, the market reacts more to those than the smaller time frame swings. So we want to be aware of them. And you know, this was from Friday. You know, we came back down, we spiked below it. We were looking for the move into it. And then we were looking for, because of the time of day, usually after that, you know, opening range drive, we get a pullback. And we did. So we got our pullback, and we were still looking to see if, well, maybe more buyers were going to come in and take it higher. Well, they didn't. And actually, let's see. We started the webinar even up here. We filled the gap, and we were looking for that continuation. That's right. So this is where we were, and we're looking for the spike down to this swing here, and then this swing down here. We've got it around 11 o'clock, and then this pullback we were also looking for, and it wasn't much of a pullback, and it really just kind of grinded higher, and then you can see that we were still low. We were looking for the move lower because of the hourly in here had that momentum. So we kind of outlined some other spots in here on the chart. Yeah, very choppy day yesterday, and it looks to be similar, I think, as well, Rob. You know, we have NVIDIA earnings later. The markets can be really on pins and needles, I think. And this is something that, Rob, I know I've been talking directly to you in many cases here, and if you don't like it, I'll stop. But it works for everybody, and there were just some things in particular I remember going over from the Bookmap Academy meeting. So I thought, well, let's get you into the discussion, and go through some of these examples, that you were dealing with, or some psychological maybe pitfalls. And yesterday, it can be really frustrating on those days. Like, you're looking for a move. Everything is telling us that it wants to, well, not everything was telling us it wants to go down, but it was more likely to go down, was what we were thinking. And we got the move. It was painful to get this move. And it didn't move much either. It just went below the swing here, and then you can see it rallied right back and went above the swing here on the 15-minute chart. Now, we're covering this again just because these swings in here are more pertinent on the higher time frame. We want to understand this relationship in here. And you can see it ultimately failed up here and got a pretty nice move to the downside, and yet again moved right back up. Okay, so very, very choppy. Now, we can take a look at that, though, in a different context, and we can maybe look at it like, this choppy range in here. And I'm going to draw on the chart like this with this pen. But we're in this choppy range like this, right? And what are our expectations within this? Well, we just filled the gap up here, as you can see, right in here, and probably some back and forth, and we can still go higher and test up into some of these areas in here. But what we're talking about in terms of expectations here is ATR, and how much can the market move in this environment, and it's really important to understand that. So we can look at this in here, and we can start to measure it. So for example, from here on up, well, this is what 5620 on up to 38. All right, so let's just call it 18 points, and 18-point moves, 20-point moves, whatever, something like that. Okay, well, how many points has this one moved already down here for today? Here's 12 on up to 30 or so. Okay, so there we go. There's our 18 points already, and it filled the gap. So what are our expectations here? Are we really looking for it to come back up here? Maybe, if the volume looks really powerful, yeah. But that's not out of the question. It's not that many points higher. But we're going to keep an eye on these range and our expectations in here around these key levels and swings and moves, how much the market can move. Okay, so well, here we go, and you can see that actually it's showing a really nice reversal pattern here. And let's take a look at these levels here. Here's our 5612 down here. Okay, and actually, let's jump over to the Trader Map Lite version, which you guys should have. I won't be able to see. Okay, we'll have to jump back here. This will be fixed soon. I can't wait to be able to not only look at the Trader Map Lite version with stops and icebergs, but to trade from it. It's going to be really, really something else. Anyway, here's our reversal pattern in here. It's pretty nice. So to me, I'm still seeing more buyers up here above this swing here. I'm looking for buyers to take it up into 37. Okay, now let's just jump back here to our chart. 37 is up here. Okay, and we've already gone the swing distance from 12 on up to 32 or so, 30. So another 7 points. Is that out of the question? No, it's not. Maybe we'll get another pullback in here before we get that move, though. Okay, it might pull back all the way back down to into this liquidity down here. around this 24 or so. Okay, so and then here we go right here. Now, if that's our expectation, what's the order flow telling us? Okay, we have a double top here, and we have some selling coming in. Okay, it's down to the bottom of this little range in here. Let's see if we can now we see the sellers coming in. So let's see them bring it down to 26 or 24. Okay, so we're going through the high volume node. We're already through it. So I'm looking for the bottom of the range here, and we've already tested it. And we came back and retested the point of control here, or this high volume node, and we failed. We're back down again. Okay, so I'm looking again for sellers here, and then let's see them break it down to around this 24 or 23 liquidity down here. Okay, so now is this, this is actually something that we, we're not making this stuff up. We're being reasonable and logical and observing and extrapolating information from what we're observing. And we're looking at the order flow to support these observations. Okay, so and then we can start to build out a strategy from them. You don't have to adopt someone else's strategy. You can. That's why we cover in this webinar, in particular, we'll cover many different strategies. Something will resonate, and it'll click, and then it'll start that study for you. And it doesn't have to be patterns. It doesn't have to be, a volume profile. It doesn't have to be Fibonacci levels or floor trader pivot levels. It can be, anything that you can study and observe and start to gain some objective insight from it. Okay, so here we go again. Below point of control, I'm seeing sellers. I saw buyers above it, but they failed. I'm looking for the move back down to not only 26. Now I want it to break it. Now I want it to come down to 23.5. And let's see if we can do it. Getting a retest right back to it. Okay, and let's see it, sellers, right here. And let's take a look at these ranges again, even here in this time frame here, right? We're kind of in the middle of the range, but we're looking for the move to the bottom of the range, and we are looking for a break here. Okay, so let's see if we can get it. Here they go. There we are. And let's get down to this 23 level here. Okay, that's the next level. Now let's start to also look at these ranges in here. What's reasonable to consider? Well, there it is. That's pretty reasonable right there. So maybe it's already done its move, right? That's it, Or maybe we're going to get another. Maybe get a pullback. Let's look at that idea here. Pullbacks or something like this. Okay, well, let's take the bigger one actually. Try to give it a little more leeway here. All right, and then we're going to take this range again, or this one, and we're going to move it on over and look for that. Okay, well, it popped up above it, back to the high volume node. So maybe we get another retest back down to here, or maybe the buyers are going to take control at this point. All right, so yep, buyers are taking control back up above it here. Okay, so now this is also reasonable in here to consider. In this range in here, it looked like a breakout originally. You know, this looked really good in here. But we took a step back, we looked at this time frame in here, and we looked at some of these moves in here, around 18 or 20 points or so. Okay, so it had already done that. So that's why we were originally looking for this pullback. Okay, but now we're gonna switch gears because we got our pullback. We're going to switch gears and we're going to look for our continuation move now with this reversal pattern in here. So, and then this is the reversal. Here's leg one. This is the chop, and now we're looking for leg two. Right now, if this all seems really hokey to you, looking at you know, these kinds of moves, how much market breadth there is, and you know, this doesn't jibe well with you, that's fine. Maybe a Fibonacci extension would, you know, whatever it might be. However, what we're going to match it up with here is the order flow. So for example, look at the volume building here on the buy side. Okay, what's the bid look like underneath? What's the offer look like? Well, there's still traders here at 30. Okay, so they got to trade through that. So we've got another rotation here. And let's see if we can rotate back up again, and then we get our breakout here. Okay, so let's look for them right in here. There are some buyers. Okay, so buyers, I'm looking for buyers to take it back up to 30, 31. And we got to see them up here. Right here. There they are. Okay, so now let's see them take it up at 31, and let's see if we can get our breakout now of 31. We didn't. We just got up to about 31. And retested right back to it. Okay, and let's see if we get our buyers yet again here. And now we're looking for an extension. Okay, so let's see if we can get this here. Okay, so buyers again, extension. And let's be reasonable on this. This is about 31 to like 28, 3-4 points or so. So let's see 31 to like 34, 35, and does it match up with some liquidity up here? So this would be where we're looking for it to go, up here. Okay, now that would be the move. Okay, and again, we're just looking at these ranges and then starting to look for the order flow and the transactions in here to give us insight to that move, the potential for that move. Is it reasonable to consider? Now we can put some risk around it. Okay, we can put our stop maybe down below here and try to let this thing run now. Okay, so we haven't even gotten there yet. Okay, we're still looking for a little bit higher here. Okay, now we might get stopped out at break even here if you bring your stop up immediately. You know, how much of a move are you looking for? Well, let's jump back here to the bigger picture, and let's get at least back up to like let's see here. There's 33, and then maybe we can get up to 37. That was our original idea, right? 37. Well, good liquidity up there. It's been in the book for a while. So let's see it. So are you guys having problems with seeing the stream here? It should be working fine. Yeah, no, I see it. Morning, Stephen. Okay, all right. Yeah, thanks, Stephen. Okay, still have the order book. Well, actually, that liquidity here that transacted around 31. Now we're seeing kind of a flip of the order book. See how they're on the bid now? All right, so let's see a continuation now. Okay, our 34 or 35 is our target. And there it is. There it is. Now, how do you want to handle this? That's a pretty good move. And you probably would have, if your target, your limit order was right there, front running it by a tick or two, you'd be out. Okay, now if you see like a momentum move like this and you don't see any selling slowing up at all, you can hold it for longer and look for it to go a bit further. Okay, so it actually hit our 37 target. Now I would be out at 37, and I would just look for the next setup. Okay, and this might turn into a flag pattern, and then get involved in that. Okay, but that hit my objective. Why am I not seeing it here? Boy, this rhythmic is really kind of screwy. All right, well, yeah, that was our target, and then it actually is turning into a flag pattern. Okay, pretty nice one actually, because it's look at how flat this is in here, and I just see buying coming in. I want to see the bid though up above here. Let's see if we get that, and then a little bit buying curling in right around here. There they are, and let's see if they can take it higher up into 40, 45, and 50 maybe up here. Okay, I would be very careful on this one though. I'd have a very tight stop on it. There's just something about this in here. It's like it looks good, it looks strong, and this is a very minor pullback, and we still see more buyers in here. So everything looks good. I could just see sellers coming in and dumping though, and then move all the way back down here. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Dan, should I go off of the virtual camera? Should I stop it? That's what it might be over in OBS. Okay. All right. Yeah, we can test it later. Then it seems to be working all right. All right, guys. So this, yeah, really strong flag in here. Well, it hit our target, and then it did hit this 40 level up here and this liquidity up here, and then it's that pretty much stopped it. I mean, the flag pattern is still in play, to be honest. I mean, this is a really good strong move, and it's still about 50% of the pullback here. So we want it to work now at this point though, right? So we're looking for, again, for our buyers, we're looking for that high liquidity underneath here. There's a little bit here, not much, and then let's see if we can get our buyers to break out on up back to 40, and nothing so far. So Rob, if there's what kind of style, or does this kind of, these moves and these swings, and then understanding the order flow within them, does that make sense to you? I mean, if it does, you may even consider this just to begin with. I know that's the thing. You keep trying things, and I know. I mean, I understand the pain. I mean, we all do, uh, and it can just drive you mad. But just what are the expectations for the day? And you already had expectations that it's probably going to be pretty choppy, right? Like it was yesterday. Yesterday was a lot harder to trade than this right here, in my opinion. A lot harder. I mean, it would do these moves. This was, I think, a pretty a pretty easy read with this reversal. I mean, just look at how it reversed. I mean, this is like classic. This is what we're looking for in the transactions and the order flow. So here's our move down. Cluster of selling, more selling. Okay, sellers still in control. A little bit of buying in here. Buying starting to come in. Okay, one more move to the downside, and then lots of buying coming in. This is strong, right? That's why we're still looking for this to move up. Okay, and then yeah, it's starting to turn into our flag pattern in here. It's starting to work out, right? So we can also look at well, this is hindsight. I mean, it's holding this so far, right? I should have drawn that in, but I'm looking at more of these kind of measured moves in here than I am these diagonal lines in here. We can look at maybe a channel here. Oops. So yeah, maybe 50 is where this wants to go. And okay, so my rhythmic caught up. Okay. All right. So 46 is the next swing up here, guys. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Look on the hourly too. Looks pretty good. 45, 50, a little bit above that. So I'm looking for the continuation move in here. This is good momentum. Okay, we just want to ride the momentum. Okay, and then expectations for these moves too. That's a strong move. Here's another move here. And what about the pullbacks? Yeah, it might start to flatten out. Okay, but I'm still looking for this to bounce off of there and for another move here like this. It's pretty good up to our 46. Okay. Now, does anything support that story? Yeah. Here come the buyers. They just traded in this liquidity in here, so maybe a bit of a pause or a pullback again. We may see it break the trend line. I just don't see a strong bid underneath here. And let's see it, buyers. Let's see it. No. Can't see it again. All right, I'm gonna try this. Hold on just a minute over here. Let me see if I can change the stream to yeah, okay. I'm gonna stop streaming here for a minute, guys, over in Discord. I think it's this virtual camera. Oh boy, I'm afraid to do this. I just came back. Okay, weird behavior. Okay, guys, we're still bullish until we see something different. And I would be bearish once we see the move back down and with strong volume, and then a pullback on light volume on the buy side, and then a move, and look for that continuation move to get the reversal here. But I just don't see enough sellers in here yet for a reversal. This is still going up. Okay, so all right, now I still don't see the sellers in here, but the moves are now starting to become equal. This move here is equal to this move. So if we draw the same kind of length here, so now they're kind of equal. So we're going sideways now. Okay, now we are breaking it. All right, well, let's see if we can reject and come back again. Come back up into the swing. Okay, so there's some buying. See a little bit more and get up above this swing here on some buying. And I think we got it. Okay, here we go. Let's see it, buyers. You just had your stop run. You had your went below the swing in here. And let's see if you still have more buying pressure after this move to the downside. Okay, here we go. And let's see it, buyers, right up here. This is where it is make or break it here. Yeah, it looks like we're getting them. Okay, so yeah, looking for back to the swing here, 43. Some liquidity getting in the way there at 42. Just came in the book. See how disruptive this can be here? The market reacts to that. Let's see. It looks like there's still some buying interest though. So let's see. I know they took these guys on. Let's see if they. There they go. So now they pulled. Now they flipped. Okay. So let's see if we get our buyers now, and back up to our swing here around 42, 43. See, can we muster that? Nothing yet. Nothing yet. No. All right, this is one of our pivots that we always look at in here. So this is where the sellers came in and took this down. Now this is a very small time frame, but I'm looking to see if we can get some green dots back up above this area. That means that all of these guys would be trapped on the sell side here. Right, and that's where, how many times, in Alan, you've probably seen this so many times now, just recently in crypto. You can see it here as well. Buying back up above it, buying, selling below it. Now we're looking for buying back up above it right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, so now looks like they got it. Now we're looking for the buyers to squeeze these sellers here. and get back up to the swing and maybe our 46 level. That was the next level. Okay, so here's what we're looking at here, right? It was this in here turns into this to here. All right, and then we'll just look for that momentum to continue again. I took a bit of a pause or a break here. Market timing wise, yeah. So we didn't cover that. Well, here's our 930, or here's 930 over here, and this is very typical of what we kind of look for. First, the opposite direction, and then the strong move counter to that, and then around our 1030 area. This is it here. So I just don't see the sellers coming back in yet. So I'm still looking for the continuation move here. But this is around the time. I mean, it's past the 10:30 time. But maybe we don't get it today. Maybe we get our continuation until later. Looking at our bigger picture again, like looking at these swings here, and this is good momentum in the hourly and the 15-minute chart. So it still looks good to me. It's 46, and 50 is just above it. It turns into a little cup and handle right there, as you can see. There's a little handle right in here. And let's see it, buyers. Let's see the squeeze. Let's see the move. There's a little bit of a bid there. There we go. A little bit of a bid. Push, boost it up a little bit. And now just those aggressors on the buy side. Let's see the squeeze up into 46 or 50. No, another rotation. And still looking for it. Let's get a little push and momentum here. There's a little bit on the bid there. All right, let's see how the market reacts to that. We should see it. We've been seeing them buy up at these levels up here. So, and a little bit of that push here with this 4150 liquidity. Very tight range, but still looking for a breakout from it. Now, this said, like this is another thing to look for in these kinds of moves in here, because we how many rotations have we come up here and we're looking for it, and we're just not getting enough buyers, right? We're just not getting enough, even with a little bit of the bid in here, etc. So we can watch out for that second scenario, and it looks like it's going to unfold here. So sellers coming, we get exhaustion up here. We can get sellers come in, and we look for the move back down to about this 38 or 37 level, and then to come right back though, a V bottom back up to our 43, and then finally get our breakout. And we've seen it a million times. And if we do get that, which actually we're starting to see that exhaustion again in here on that buy side, so that's a possible scenario. Yeah, they're just not getting enough to break it out. Okay, so look out, sellers might come in right here right now, and we might get the squeeze back down to the bottom of this range here. So because we've been waiting and we've been watching, and they just couldn't do it, right? We just didn't get enough buyers up in these areas up in here. We can look for the move back down, and it actually kind of did it, and we're back up already. So this is all it had to do, is come back down to the bottom of this range, it looks like. Now let's see if we get our buyers up here. Or is that enough enough of a move or enough selling in here to get them upside down, and when they get back up to 43? Rob, if it's a lot of things to look for, I mean, yeah, I mean, that's why I was kind of kept talking about Robert Rother. He looks at very, very simple thing over and over again. So okay, so it is finally getting this kind of opposite move here. But again, like, what are our expectations here? Well, I would love to see it do this V bottom down into this level here around 38, and then get our buyers back up above, and the right around 40, 41 here. That's where I'd like to see the buyers again, and then charge up to 43 and then break out. Here we go. Let's see if they've got enough. See, because how many times did it try, and we're pulling for them all throughout here, and they're just slightly breaking higher highs, and they just couldn't do it. But let's see if they can reattack now with some momentum here, right? So this is your slingshot, or Wyckoff Spring, I guess. Yeah, I think it's a little different than what slowdown looks at, but the concepts are the same. A breakdown, false breakdown, a move back up, and then a continuation. And Rob, like you know this. I know. How do you plan? How do you manage a trade like this in here? And it's not easy. I mean, it's nerve wracking. Uh, so if that's the case and you don't know, well then stop. Close the trade. Take a step back, and then look for what you do know. Okay, so this is kind of what we're looking for right now. So this is what we do know. So now let's see if we can get, already got a little bit of a pullback here, but enough buyers in here. Okay, I'm looking for the breakout now. Okay, so I'm looking for these. I think there's enough buying pressure in here now. Let's see if we can get it. Okay, so what? No, nothing yet. But this is the behavior. This is what we're looking for. Okay, so, and when we did get the cluster of buying up here. Oh, let's just get one more push up there. No, can't do it. One more push back down. All right, so then that would be a small stop below the swing in here, right? But at least there was a higher probability this was going to work. Something like this. Okay, now it still may do it. It's done it once, and maybe it's just doing it twice, and maybe we can come right back up here. Let's see. See, I'm not seeing a reversal pattern here yet. A little bit of cluster of selling here, but so now here we go again, and then again up here. Now I really want to see some big buying here. Okay, here we go. All right, so now I'm looking for the extension. We've got enough sellers here, here, and here on the hook for squeeze to the upside, and it should happen pretty quickly. It's a tricky one. It's definitely taking its time. It took another dip here before doing this, before breaking out here. Anyone else over in Discord having issues still? I mean, we're trying this new thing here with the virtual camera. It should be working well. Okay. Okay, so sounds good. All right, well, let's go back to what we were looking at earlier. This is our move. These are our pullback moves, right? Let's see. So it's already done it. Okay, and then some. Okay, yeah, it's failing all the way back down. Just not enough buyers. All right, let's see if we can get one more attack here. All right, and this is the swing here. It is a high volume node as well, but this is where it broke down from. Okay, same ideas, like above this is where you got to see it. Yeah, this has been a little challenging in this little area in here. I thought the other moves were pretty easy though, or easier, put it that way. Based off our expectations in the moves, and then a pullback, and then a breakout up into our 37. And now we're just looking for a continuation. Okay, so now we're back up above here. Now let's see if we. Now this is where it has to happen here. If we are going to move now, this is where there just has to be a lot more buyers here. All right, and let's just bring up the dot size a little bit here to get a little more insight. Yeah, there's enough there. All right, so let's see them do this now, and move it back up to 45, 44 and a half. And they've got enough. And now let's see the move. Back up to 45. See if we can get back up into like, well, 46 was our original target, and then 50. Okay, cluster of buying still looks good. It's above point of control. It's building buy volume above the point of control. Okay, time and acceptance and buyers. So we're still looking for the push higher. Maybe that's it, Rob. Something as simple as that, you know? Maybe that's what resonates. Is it above point of control? Are there buyers? Are they moving the market? In fact, let's take a look at some other momentum moves in here. I mean, like this is still looking great here. Still looking very good. We never know, right? But it's looking good. It's gone back and forth here a lot, but look at that cluster of buying. Now they're failing to move it though is the problem. So we've got to see the movement. They're running into some icebergs in here, but not a whole lot. Time of day, it's not European close yet, so still looking for this to go higher. Okay, now let's take a look at this here. So now it's just testing point of control, and now sellers below it. Okay, so now you'd be out. You gave it a shot, you'd be out. If it comes back up above here around 42 or so, and you see buyers, you can get back in. Now I know it doesn't seem like much, but like you're saving yourself big risk of these moves back down into like 38 or even much lower. Instead of fighting those, just take the small loss, and you can always get back in. But it has to show something for you to get back in. And let's see if they do. Is that enough? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe. It's hard to say. Okay, if we do get another move up here, then yes. Okay, so again, we covered this the other day. These curls around, you know, as it curls back around, we got to see buyers back up here, and we're not right now, right? But we got to see them up here, and then that should be enough for the move higher up into 44, 46, and 50. So there we go. All right. So then now this is hypothetical. This is difficult. It's pretty difficult. I know, rainy days. This is, and please, like this is not like we're trying to put together something where we're reading the order flow and then understanding the behavior and then looking for a break, right? And we've got to take a few shots at it here, right? But this is what we're looking for. And now I'm looking for this continuation and this break in here. It's been really kind of challenging to trade it back and forth, but now we got it. Now we got it, right? And that's where the challenging thing is. Rainy days is like um, how are you going to, how many shots are you going to take at it, and look for this to work out. And then even if you get a good winner on this one here, you might be just at break even. You should be above break even. You should be in the green, but like it can be challenging. But what did you learn along the way? You know, you're looking for something very specific, and you're looking for it to work out, and you put some risk out on it. Okay, and then it didn't work out, but at least you controlled the risk, and then you did get the move. Okay, and then here's our beautiful little flag pattern, and then here's the move, and look at the stop run here. It's huge, right? It's all those people in here getting all caught up in it, and they've been caught up in it for, God, we've been caught up in it for like 15 minutes, more than that, 20 minutes for this move to 50, right? 46 and then 50. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, I know that it's a challenge. Maybe if it just doesn't really look all that great. I mean, it was doing what we were looking for. It just was a little more minimal. This cluster looked especially good, I thought, in here. And then we had this one more move here, but then, you know, it started to show again, and then, you know, we would have gotten it. But or at least I'd like to say we would have gotten it. I think so, because we went below here. We don't know how much supply is here. It wasn't very much at all. And then we see more demand back up above here, above the point of control, right? So and then we get our move. Now we didn't get quite to 50, but we came like 2 ticks away from it, right? And we always, you know, recommend or not recommend. I got to be careful. That front running is a good idea in a lot of these cases, because then you don't have to put up with these pullbacks like this. And let's put it this way: rainy days, like you know, this was kind of tedious, and this back and forth in here, and we weren't. I mean, we were looking for this move to unfold. We weren't really that convinced by it. Other times when we are really convinced, it looks really good. It typically, you know, goes that direction. I mean, this one just unwound many times in here, and then finally happened. Okay, we did not see a reversal pattern in here. You know, it just didn't have that shape or form. It could have started here, but then the buyers came back in, and then, you know, even here though, like it maybe, but we're seeing these clusters of buyers, so it didn't look like it. So it still looked like it was ready to come back up into the 50 level here. Well, no, I think it depends on how you trade your setup, Stephen. Like, you know, is the cost of doing business? Yeah, well, there is a cost of doing the business. There's no question about that. And you know, not only are there expenses along with the business, but there's a cost to it as well. that you're going to take some losses. Now, you can take a step back though and wait. Like yesterday, we were looking for some things to unfold, and boy, it was choppy. And then, boy, this was just kind of choppy in here, but it was still looking pretty good. This was the opposite, actually, what we were looking for yesterday. We're looking for the sell side, and we kept looking for it, and it finally did it. But it was painful. And we uh, well, we could have stuck with some other plans in here, I guess. Like we could have looked at some of these measured moves in here, and then stuck with that, right? If we draw some of these moves in this chop in here, and these are all going to be pretty similar. I mean, this was where it was really tightly wound in here, back and forth, right? But this would be your bigger measure move down to the bottom of the range here, back to the top of the range here. Yeah, still, I mean, hindsight, let's get rid of all our lines here. Hold on. Um, hindsight, though, like, here we are. This was all that chop in here, and this is why we stuck with it. I mean, there's still more buyers than sellers in here. Still had this look to it. Hey, that look is starting to fade now quite a bit. Look at the selling coming in now. We're still trending up though, and I can still see it getting back above 48 here on a squeeze. But there's a lot more selling now than there was over here. How about this one, Rob? Have you ever considered, like, just from your studies, uh, what if one of the things, like, we've talked about a lot is when you're looking for um, we're all looking for the big break, the big breakout trade, or the continuation, the trend, to continue. Um, but what about just looking at some of these ranges in here, and then starting to understand, well, maybe after big moves, or after some market breadth, it needs to take a break. Maybe it's time of day. You can look at just some of these ranges in here, these swings, and then just try to get in at the bottom of the swing and take it off at the top of the swing, and vice versa. I mean, that goes against everything that we talk about in here in terms of order flow, but it's where we actually start. It sounds kind of funny, but it's where we start, because these are the ranges. And the ranges are the market structure. So you're a buyer down here at 44 and a half or so. You're a seller up here around 48 and 3/4. Okay. Now what we're looking for is, what's the order flow look like around this area up in here, right? So do you want to take that risk? You have to take risk. I mean, there's no way around that. Okay, your risk would have been here at 48 and a half, or 3/4, and then you're looking for it to come back down to about here, 45, right? And you just might get whipped out and stopped out really quickly though. Again, I'm not advocating it. I'm just saying that look at the behavior in the market, and what are these swings for today during this time. Okay, and then now start to look at the order flow around those areas. Now we can turn on the volume dots and the bars. Okay, so there's a cluster of buying. They failed to get up. They failed to get higher here. This is looking kind of scary though, right? That this could have really ripped your face off here to the upside. And see, where we get the edge though is looking at the transactions and the liquidity around these levels up in here. And what are they telling us? And what is more likely to unfold? Okay, so I know that, let's put it this way. I know that there's buyers up here. I know that they are, they transacted and price hung out up here for a while, just in front of 50. Okay. Now I know that this is the price structure in the range down to 45. Okay. So where would you get in on this? How can we reason this out? How can we look for a pattern behavior in here? Well, if we look at some of these moves in here, these ATRs, maybe that's it. I mean, it's a starting point for your strategy. Okay, so maybe down to here, right? Yeah, slow down. You say you're a big fan of the rectangle. Yeah, me too. I mean, this is really, it's the same stuff over and over again. Like if you look at this rectangle, or if you draw a rectangle up in here, how is that any different than a volume profile, right? It's not. It's the same thing. And it's showing you where the majority of that volume is trading, and it's right up here. So this has a skew here. This is a P-shaped profile. Okay. What that means is that the top can be weak. If we get buyers up here, it'll break. I mean, this is precisely the same things. Like here you would be a buyer, right? Bottom of the range. And then you try to dump it off back into the middle or top of the range. This is just horrible price action. I mean, like this is looking good, and then yet again, buyers cannot. We know the cluster's up here. They can't seem to hold it though. Now watch these guys take it back down to 45 here. It may be down to the low volume node, 44. This swing down here. Yeah, I'm afraid what I'm trying to discuss or go over in here is kind of maybe a little confusing. We're looking at all sorts of different things in here, but what did we see that was really clean and clear? And let's just focus on those things. Okay. Well, we started the webinar off with this kind of reversal pattern in here right at the open, 9:30 cash open. You know, that reading that this is right from the knowledge or the learning center. More sellers, cluster of buying, more sellers, then cluster of buying breaks. This broke the structure already, but it came back in. And then we see the cluster of buying back up again in here. We're looking for the breakout up into high liquidity here. And then there was this back and forth in here. And we're looking for 37. Well, we were looking at for 37 because we looked at the momentum in these moves. Now, up at here, this was a false breakout here. It looks great, right? Should work. Buyers, not too many sellers, buyers. But then we looked at our kind of ranges in here, and it made sense that we might come back down to the bottom of the range and then get buyers to come back in. And that's where we saw them around, I can't recall. I think it was around this 30, 31 area. And then we're looking for that move to 37. And then it went higher. It went up to 40. And then it just really chopped around in here for a while. And this is what we were trying to read for that continuation pattern, which ended up doing it. But it just took, it was very choppy in here. Now, we just talked about these ranges in here. Look what it did. Down to 45. Okay, well, do you want to scoop it up? I mean, I don't see much down here to scoop up, to be honest. I don't see that interest in the buying. I do see some high liquidity here that did transact. That's a good sign. Okay, and now is the bid looking pretty good? Okay, now we're getting a pullback. All right. So then this would be your pullback. And then let's see if we can get buyers back up here again. And then back up to 48 and then 50. Okay. So we're back up to, yeah, here, yeah, 48, let's call it. The point of control is, of this high volume node is right around 47 3/4. Okay, I'm looking for the buyers to come back and retest that and then trade through it on size. Now, if you're putting your, if you're, you can look at your volume profile in here, and you could use a little bit of, there's risk no matter what, right? So, but you could look at this liquidity in here and say like, well, if it trades down below this swing and kind of into these swings in here, I would be willing to buy along with these guys. And then you're catching really the bottom. Okay, now this failed to get back to the point of control or high volume node here. Sellers are back in. All right, this is starting to look more like a reversal pattern to me now. So let's see if we can get the sellers to break it here. They are. Okay, so now where are they going to break it to? I would say probably right around here, and 42 and a half or so, where these buyers came in. And again, what we're going to do is we're going to match in. So now we're starting to trend. It's starting to reverse. And we're going to look at, again, our swings in here. Like this one. Now I know that's kind of a flag in there, or like, ABC pattern. But our swing here. Okay, so there it is. All right. So now it did it. Now we're looking for another pullback, potentially, just based off of what we're seeing in here. Boy, we're not getting it here. That's for sure. Okay. Huge move. Huge move to the downside. Wow, look at that. Is this news? Or is this just a big stop run? All of this buying in here can't get back up into 50. Okay. All right, guys, I would still look for the same things that we covered in here. Now this could be like I mean, we see the sellers moving it away clearly, right, into the close here, European close. Uh, yeah, most likely we look for more sellers here to try to take it down. However, we're going to look at if we get buyers back up above 43. Okay, because this is a big stop run in here, and this might be what we needed to see before we can get back up into like 50 or so. Let's take a step back. Let's look at our bigger picture in here. Yeah, so we're getting kind of a bounce off of these ranges in here. This is where it failed, right? So I would assume there'd be some buyers here, or some covering by that selling. Okay, and then let's see I'm looking forward back to 43 here, and then let's see if we can get back up above it. Kind of doubtful. This is a lot of volume trading in here. All that hacking around that we were looking at earlier is in this range. Okay, well, we did start to mention before the big move happened here. We're just looking for it down to here around this. I don't know what would we say, 40, first 45, and then this, yeah, 42 here. That's what we were saying, and then it just blew right through it. And we had measured moves in here and looking for another pullback and then another move. It didn't. We just got the move straight. Right, but after that, yeah, I would look for the to come right back to where this dropped from here. Almost got there. A little bit higher, 42 3/4, 43. All right, guys. Well, let's see over in YouTube. If you can hit the like button, please. Let's see here. The May open interest in the NQ index can affect the price action. I'm not really sure. We first off, Adrian, we weren't really looking at the NQ earlier, but yeah, I could. Okay, here's our move back to our 43, right? Yeah, it's already done it. Okay, so I would anticipate a few sellers to come back in. I'm not looking yet for buyers back up above this on high volume. Okay, I still think the sellers are, in control from this move here. However, we're open to that scenario of the buyers back in here above it, right? Then it starts to look like our crypto patterns in here, where you see these big moves and then the pivot above the big where it dropped from, move back up, etc. Right, now here they come. All right, so now can they push it through? Looks like it. A little more buying than that would be nice. And I think we can come right back up to 47, maybe 50 here. Yeah, I don't think it's ready quite yet, but anyway, I mean, we've just seen this move so many times. See, to answer all your questions over there in YouTube, I think so. All right, guys. So yeah, anyway, yeah, please hit that like button. We'll see you on Friday in YouTube. We're going to continue on over in Discord for a few more minutes and then call it a day. So if you're interested, then yeah, just jump over to our Discord and look for the All Markets webinar room, and you can join into the chat there as well, and then see some of the image, nice image that Slowdown put in here. Looking at these rectangles. Yep. All right. Yep. Thanks, guys. And then we'll see you over in Discord. Else, we'll see you on Friday. All right. Thank you.